Welcome back to another episode of the Hunt Fish Travel podcast. As you know, and I've stated before, I am your hostess, Carrie Z. Couple of quick things that I wanted to mention before we jump into this absolutely hilarious episode. First off, as you know, Spy Point is one of my biggest sponsors here at the Hunt Fish Travel podcast, and they are running a super cool contest this month in November. It's really easy to enter. You can win like $500 worth of stuff. So you just have to follow Spy Point on Instagram. You can share any kind of a hunting photo on Instagram. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's hunting related. You will tag Spy Point Camera in that post and use the hashtag #YISpyPoint. Doesn't matter if you have tons of Spy Point cameras or none, or would just like to win $500 worth of swag. So that's super fun. And secondly, I hope to see you up in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, the weekend of December 8th through the 10th. For the Wisconsin Ice Fishing Expo, I will be in booth 201. I'll be right across the way from the Ion Ice Fishing booth, which is super exciting because I love their augers. I have partnered with the Lake of the Woods Tourism Bureau, and we're putting together an ice fishing package for one lucky winner at the expo. You'll have to come. You just sign up for the newsletter. It'll be super simple. Just come to the booth. I'll have a form. You put in your email address. You check the box, hit subscribe, and you are automatically entered into the giveaway. I'll have more details by December 1st, so be sure to subscribe to the Hunt Fish Travel podcast on all of your podcast platforms, because we're going to have great details about the giveaway the first week of December. I'll, of course, be promoting it, and we're going to do some interviews with the resort that has chosen to partner with us. At the expo, just come to the booth, you sign up, and then April 1st, we are going to do a Facebook Live event to draw the winner. So you have about 4 months there, because I'll be promoting it not only at the Wisconsin Ice Fishing Expo, but also at the Open Season Sportsman's Expo in March. So you will technically have 2 chances to enter if you don't make it up to Oshkosh. But I hope to see you there. I think it's going to be a great show. It's going to be a lot of fun. Who doesn't love ice fishing? We're gearing up for the season. The season's coming up. Everybody's getting excited. I know I'm in like deer hunting mode, but ice fishing is never far from my brain. So I hope to see you there at the Wisconsin Ice Fishing Expo, December 8th through the 10th at the Sunnyview Expo Center in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Booth 201. Okay. Enough. On to the show. Welcome to the Hunt Fish Travel podcast. I am your hostess, Carrie Z. Super excited about this week. I know I say that every time, and I know I say that every time. But this week I really am super excited because I've got good friend Pat Kalmerton on the line. And Pat is an awesome dude. He's a Wisconsinite. He's a lot of fun to be around. He is the owner of Wolfpack Adventures and Pat Kalmerton Outdoors, and a whole bunch of other things. And I'm super excited to catch up with him after the Association of Great Lakes Outdoor Writers Conference 2 weeks ago. So, Pat, welcome to the show.
Well, hello.
Is this the first time you've been on
the show? I appreciate you having me.
Wait, is this the first time?
It is the first time.
It is
the first time. I was kind of wondering if I just wasn't cool enough, or if I did something wrong, or, I get it. Sometimes it's just. Well, sometimes it's one of them things where if you're really good friends with people, you just don't even think about it.
Right?
And you're like, how could I overlook that for so long?
Literally. Well, listeners, you are in for a treat because Pat is a hoot.
I have a very good feeling that you'll be hearing a lot more of me now that Carrie actually thought about me one time.
I know. Oh, my God.
So hello, everybody. I'm glad to be with you.
Well, why don't you give... And I've been on the charter with you guys before, salmon fishing. You've taken me turkey hunting through Wolfpack Adventures and stuff. Let's start there. Let's tell the listeners a little bit about Wolfpack Adventures and Pat Kalmerton Outdoors. And then you have something with kids going on, too, if I don't.
Oh, man, it's not fair. Don't ask my wife. Yeah, don't ask my wife what I'm all into, because that'll just annoy her and irritate her, because I'm constantly gone. So, yeah, long story short, Wolfpack Adventures is a 4-season outdoor adventure program. So we're an entertainment business. We're not that type of people that, if you want to fish, go to the store to buy it. It's one of them things where it'd be a lot easier for everybody just to do that. If you're going to call me and what you're full intentions is the constant fill the freezer and have a great time. I'm not your service. I'm there for entertainment. I'm there to have a good time. We catch a lot of fish, by the way, but I like to share exactly what we do, how we do it, where we're going to do it, and that way, if I am full, next time that you call, you can certainly go do it yourself, or you can teach it to somebody else as well. So, Wolfpack Adventures, we have 3 salmon boats out on the bay, out on Lake Michigan, out of Sheboygan. We have a couple of boats up at the Bay of Green Bay that we chase walleyes. We have a couple of boats inland that we go and bobber down fishy on for panfish. Or if you want to go and soak a bobber for a bass, I don't care what we do as long as we're outside doing it. I'm a happy boy. Cool. We got that stuff. We have a fully enclosed trailer with 50 pair of waders and fly rods and spin cast rods and center pin rods for fishing the tributaries to Lake Michigan during the spring and the fall, standing in the river and letting that mist come up off of the water that's warmer than the air temperature, and the geese are flying around and making noises, and you got the pings of the golf course going off down at Black Wolf Run and Whistling Straits, and we have corporate memberships down there that we are allowed to fish the tributaries to Lake Michigan and things like that. We do ice fishing down in the tributaries to Lake Michigan, being either the Sheboygan, Pigeon, or the ports of being Sheboygan, Manitowoc, Two Rivers, Port Washington, Milwaukee, depending on where the bite is the best. We are mobile enough that we do not call one port home for ice fishing because that changes daily. We do inland fishing. We have our private ponds that we can take people out to trout fishing and going through the whole trout hatchery process, if you want to know that. We have, inland fishing for panfish. We do turkey hunts. We do waterfall hunts. We're a 4-season outdoor adventure program that we have a lot of employees that have become family and close friends, and we enjoy the sunshine. We enjoy the wind in our face and having a good time, and you never really know what we're going to do. But we have enough people that we're not going to get burnt out and get crabby doing it. So
I was just going to
life is good.
I was just going to ask, that's so much stuff. How many people do you have working with you?
We got about 15. So
wow.
As far as the full-time employees, we have a bunch of captains because you have to be a captain to guide up on the Bay of Green Bay or Lake Winnebago or Lake Michigan itself. So you have to be a captain, either a six-pack or a master captain. We got both part of our family. We have local guides that are able and willing to take the inland stuff as far as if you have time and you want to go and try your luck on Lake Winnebago for perch right now. The fishing is fantastic. I also live over, by the Wisconsin River and Mississippi River. We can do that too. I fish those a lot. Now, is that something that I promote? I don't, because it's one of them where there's people that are better than I out there. It's one of them where, going back to the whole thing, we are an entertainment business. We like to have fun. We hang our hats at the end of the day on the hook, knowing that we made memories and good friends. And, there's 1,000 people that are better sticks out there than us. But, hey, we're going to catch plenty of fish. We're going to win some tournaments. We're going to have fun doing it. So
that's cool. That is super cool. Do you have a favorite thing that you like to do, whether it's turkey hunting or salmon fishing or whatever it is? Do you have one species you just love to chase more than any other ones?
Absolutely. Hands down, 100%. I know that I enjoy doing different things at different seasons. So, to answer your question, yes, but no, because I'm going to get bored on it. My ADHD, I'm like a squirrel on a branch with a river running under it with nowhere to jump. So What it is, when it comes down to the fishing, all right, we'll start in January. How about that? So January, my absolute favorite thing to do in January, hands down, no doubt about it, is probably trout fishing in the Milwaukee Harbor, because you got the hustle and bustle of the world behind you, the horns and the sirens of the, the emergency personnel that are running to save somebody's life. And here I am listening to the waves slap against the rocks and the seagulls going crazy, and the drag is screaming with the 20-pound German brown trout. There's something incredibly special about that fishery that will make you sit back and go, this is just awesome, because I'm right next to the Summerfest grounds, where a couple of months ago I was listening to bands and drinking beer, and now I'm out here and the whole world has stopped for myself, but the world is going 100% behind me. So that's really cool.
That's crazy, because most people think of January, they're immediately thinking of, ice fishing up north or anything, I guess. Well, and I'm sure there's lots of people out there fishing, but it just never would have occurred to me to go down towards the harbor. But that does make sense.
Because that's technically early ice down there.
Yeah.
December, the harbors, Lake Michigan becomes a great big slushy, so you have to be behind the rocks, and you have to give it enough time to have safe ice, because I made the commitment a long time ago, no matter if I'm charter fishing, walleye fishing, salmon fishing, ice fishing, I don't care. I am not going to put myself or my clientele in the position of any danger. I will not be that person that at some point has to call somebody's family because I made a bad decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A fish is not worth it. You can go to the store and buy a fish every single day of every single week. That is not the reason that you're going fishing. Hands down, it is not. I have had customers call me constantly saying, are we going to get our limit? Well, you might with somebody else, but not with me.
Right.
No, because I'm not going to take you. If that is the sole purpose that you're coming fishing with me is to get your limit of fish, I'm not your service. And don't get me wrong, we limit out all the time, or we could limit out all the time. If I'm pan fishing, if I'm bluegill fishing, and you have a group of 10 people, I'm not going to go until we get our limit. There's no reason to go until we get our limit. Let's say 5 fish is going to give you 10 fillets, and they're all 8-inch bluegills. That's a hell of a meal.
Yeah.
There's no reason to fill your freezer and have them get freezer burned and have that waste of resource that you're going to end up throwing away in a couple of months because you forgot that you have them in your freezer. Give yourself a reason to go fishing. If you have no fish in the freezer and you want to have a fish fry, that gives you that reason to go fishing. Then you have to go catch fish to have that fish fry.
Yeah.
So I'm not opposed to somebody taking their limit of fish, or I'm not opposed to that. I'm not. But I am 100% in agreement of, that 10 fish, pan fish limit. That's my belief. That's 20 fillets. If they're good sized panfish, that's a great meal,
Yeah.
So anywho, I get sidetracked. I'm sorry. Again, going back to my ADHD.
Okay. It's okay.
So we covered January.
Oh God. This is only a 30-minute show, right?
30 minutes? Oh, man.
Oh, my God. I'm going to have a part 2 and a part 3.
Does it really have to be 30 minutes? Can we go longer?
Yes,
we're in trouble.
Into part 2.
All right. So in February, here we are in February. I mean, we made it through January. We caught a bunch of brown trout and having a good time over in Milwaukee. Now I'm in February. And February, I'm going to be probably chasing a lot of bluegills and stuff like that through the ice. Some crappies, suspended crappies out in the basins, and the dead of winter where everything gets cold, that things normally start slowing down, but not really, because the fishing is pretty there. You get into the March, into March. Now I'm out in Devil's Lake, North Dakota. I'm chasing those jumbo perch, and all those fish are starting to transition into getting into the shallower. Getting into the spawning. I'm going to be chasing those jumbo perch up in March. My destination is going to be Devil's Lake. It's just I've had the most luck out there. I love that area, and that's where I'm going to be. And then you get into late March, and I'm going to try to find some trophy pike on tip-up somewhere. So I'm either going to be up at Lake of the Woods, I'm going to be over on, I was just talking to Paul and Brandy over at River Bend, and we were talking about coming up and trying to do a monster pike piece, getting Jim Edlin and getting some story content of catching those pike, all mostly catch and release, all, targeting nothing but those 40-inch and bigger pike through the ice, the coming up and getting ready to spawn and stuff like that. And there is no better destination than Lake of the Woods for Buffalo Bay and Rainy River, Rainy Lake for that kind of fishery. Devil's Lake, the pike has been hard to find the last couple of years. But before that, they were pushing around. You got the shipping canals in Sturgeon Bay that is good for pike. You got, some of the lower bay is good for pike. But, that's where you're going to find me. I'm going to be up at Lake of the Woods. I'm going to be up and staying at Paul and Brandy's place chasing those. And then you get into April. April, I'm gearing up. I'm going turkey hunting. I'm chasing those thunder chickens late April, early May. I also, that time of year is when I'm going to be not only chasing thunder chickens, but I'm also going to be chasing, the perch over on like Mississippi River. I'm going to be going up to Lynxville, Victory, Stoddard, DeSoto, hitting the Mississippi River for the perch and chasing those turkeys over in Crawford County, Iowa County, that area, transitioning also into the wing dams for walleyes, pitching, the Tikka minnows and the blade baits and stuff like that up on the wing dams. And then we get into June. June is no better time than chasing those big old silver, steelhead or rainbow trout. When they're in the river, they're steelhead, and they're on the lake, rainbow trout. I did not forget about the steelhead in the river system that I'm going to chase, that late February, March, but it's not my favorite. Don't get me wrong. People that fly fish, that is a destination that you have got to go to chase those steelhead up into the river system, and we do extremely well. And we probably guide 1,500 people doing that. That's not my favorite. You asked me what my favorite was, but that is a hell of a destination to go to. But my favorite is going to be over on the river. It's just something about the bluffs and the perch, and I'm a panfish guy. My kids love fishing. I love taking my kids fishing, and that's more, if you will. It keeps it bending the rod and keeps them entertained and busy. So therefore, I like to do it. July, you can have it. I really, your salmon fishing's really good at that time. Your perch fishing's really good at that time. July can be really good, but I don't know. Late May, I pretty much fish myself out because I'm fishing from April all the way through May, right before Memorial Day. Again, I always go over to Devil's Lake because I've never been on a walleye bite like that, where you can go out and you can pet. I mean, like, for instance, last May, we were throwing chatterbaits with paddle tails in the reeds for walleyes at Devil's Lake, beating up on walleyes, big walleyes. I'm talking 27, 28, 29, 30-inch walleyes. But yet you can also turn around and catch all the walleyes that you want under a slip bobber or a rocket bobber with the freaking leeches. But yet if you have a wind day, you can go and catch all the white bass that you ever wanted in the shipping, in the little tunnels and canals and stuff by every bridge entrance. It's just, so July, I'm pretty much worn out,
Yeah.
August, man, you start getting into late August in that skinny water, and you're running a lot of the baits in the skinny water for king salmon and big brown trout, and they have nowhere to go but out. So those reels are screaming. You're starting to see some 30-pound salmon. Incredible fishing. September, those perch are back into the river system for Mississippi River. So, October, you're getting into that fall bite where the walleyes are starting to go crazy. The perch are going crazy. The everything is putting their feed bag on for the winter. November, we're in the duck season. I'm chasing ducks all over the place and still hitting the river a little bit, but and then you got your deer. So, at that point, I'm picking up my bow and I'm sitting in some bow stands and chasing Indiana deer around, chasing Wisconsin deer around, chasing all that stuff. And then you're into December, and December is early ice on the river. And, then I'm chasing my panfish. And so, yes, 100%. I do have a favorite. Every month is something different.
My God, dude.
Hello, I'm Patrick. Have we met? I like to ramble on.
No, it's okay, though. But that gives people...
Anybody get bored with that yet?
No,
huh?
No, but it gives people a good overview of stuff that if they're interested in those kind of topics and those activities in those months, that's a good thing to chase or whatever, to reach out to you to put together a trip for.
Well, I'm telling you, the state of Wisconsin is such a resource.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what you talk about every state, and you talk about all these destinational places that you want to go. State of Wisconsin, man, you have every single opportunity. If you're a deer hunter and you tell me that you have nowhere to hunt, call me.
Oh, yeah.
Because there is so much state land in the state of Wisconsin between the Kalmerton and the lower Wisconsin and, Black Hawk Lake and Governor. The endless opportunities that you have to chase not only deer but squirrels and rabbits and pheasants and and. It's an exciting state to be in. Even bobcat. It takes you 2 years to pull a bobcat tag. I did it last year. You would never 5 years ago. You would have been like, "Where do I go to bobcat hunt?" Huh.
Right.
But they're everywhere.
I know. When Aaron and I first started dating, he told me that his ex-wife and the girlfriend before me, both of them wanted to move outside of Wisconsin because they hated Wisconsin so much, and they thought it was just a shitty state to live in. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, we almost moved to Texas and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, Texas is fine and all, but sweetheart, let me show you the wonders of Wisconsin. And now he's a super fan. We're so rich in resources. It's crazy.
The endless opportunities, no matter what you want to do, and not only hunting and fishing. Now, that's what we're talking about right now, but you start getting out of that and, you pull up on the apps of geocaching or even going metal detecting, or just to see the state of Wisconsin from a different perspective is something special of its own.
Yeah, right. Agreed.
Between the camping and it's mind-boggling. You can take off and canoe the Brewer River. You can go up to the Chippewa Flowage and camp on the islands, or you can go over to. The opportunities are endless. You just need to get out of your box and do a little bit of research, and you can find anything that you want to do wherever you want to do it.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. We have so you do stuff with kids too. Tell me about that whole thing, because I don't have kids, so I don't pay attention to a lot of kid stuff. So I know you do a lot of stuff with that.
Yeah, here I'm going to yell at you a little bit. You don't have to have kids to find a kid that's standing around on the corner playing a video game and saying, "Get off that damn thing and let's go."
I know, but
I know. So I'm not here to give you a lecture. I'm here to talk about kids and how. As a person that has a gaggle himself, I got 5 kids, 3 grandkids, and they keep me busy enough, let alone every one of them have friends that, they met through all the sports between wrestling and football and baseball and track and this and that and everything else. And having that opportunity to get to know all these different kids and the opportunities that they've had throughout their lifetime. Some are fortunate enough to be able to be introduced to the outdoors, and others have not had the opportunity. Their opportunity is to, here I'm busy, sit in a corner and play this video game while I get done with this, with this piece of work. And, when it came down to it a couple of years ago, I started this Take Them Kids Outdoors after I got hacked and I lost all my pictures of my kids and memories and all that on my own Facebook page. So I created a group to kind of document everything that I was doing with my kids in case something ever happened to myself, that my kids could reflect on that and say, this was really cool that I went and did this with my dad here and there, and I went there here and there with my mom and all this other stuff. Well, that kind of took off because after that, people started seeing the stories and they started sharing their own adventures of skipping rocks, going down into camping and sharing their camping outings at different national parks throughout the United States, or skipping their first rock, or going to harvest their first deer, or catching their first sturgeon, or it doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's outdoors. I mean, one of the coolest things I did was I went park hopping over by Prairie du Chien, and I had zero intention of doing that until we went to the first park for a birthday party with my kids, just going to different playgrounds throughout a couple of different cities. So what we'll do is we'll just take the day and we'll hit different playgrounds all over. And all of a sudden, one of the kids found a kindness rock that somebody left.
Aw, that's nice.
And all it was passed on the kindness,
right.
of this rock that was glazed and painted, and on the back side of it there was a saying. And also, the next kid found one, and next kid found one. Now we had a mission of going to every one of these parks, so every one of our kids found one before we were done. And we had, 8 kids or 10 kids along that day or whatever. So we spent the entire day scrounging through and having a scavenger hunt for these kindness rocks. And sure enough, every one of the kids found one. So all of a sudden, it kind of got these kids saying, well, we're going to start doing this on our own, and we're going to make our own rocks and leave them in different places. So these other kids, it's almost like, going back to the geocaching, or going back to the metal detecting, or going back to the hunting or fishing or whatever. It has nothing to do with the hunting or fishing aspect. It has everything to do with getting these kids outside, going out, getting some sunshine, wearing them out so they sleep at night and they don't annoy the living hell out of you while you're trying to relax at the end of the day,
Right.
It's just something cool. And now all of a sudden it started, and there's so many different take a kid fishing and take a kid outdoors and take this. It's just awesome, but I don't know. It's just something that I believe in because my dad was busy as a game warden. He was constantly, when he was not available to take me hunting or fishing, but yet I had such a passion for it, and everybody knew that I didn't have the attention span of sitting around and playing video games. So the neighbors started coming over, and Jack Sheely's of this world came over and threw me in a canoe down on Yetzer's Lake, and we went fishing. Or the Dave Nets that came over and got me, and we went to Winneconne walleye fishing during the spring run, or the, Jared Kalmertons of the world that came and got me out of school to go duck hunting on a sunny afternoon, and we would never see a duck on the Sheboygan Marsh, but we went.
Yeah.
Or, the kids that took me camping or this or that. I did a lot of things with my parents, don't get me wrong, but there were these other people, even though they knew how much I already did in the outdoors, either they were taking me because they wanted to learn and they secretly wanted to pick my brain, but it worked.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
I had teachers calling me in saying, we have to talk about this assignment. So I'd go in early, and, Mike Schrader was one of them. And I'd go in there to talk about an assignment, and the only assignment that he had on his table was his tackle box, wondering what he needed to run during cold derby with the weekend coming up.
Yeah.
So it's, the Jeff Dilkey teacher of my tech teacher in Howard's Grove would bring his tackle box in, and we would, again, go through his tackle box and figure out what was working out on the lake. So that weekend when he was taking his kids fishing, he was starting with a program that was successful.
That does bring up a good point. I don't have kids, right? So if I wanted to do mentorship or something, and I always wish before my dad passed away that he would have done a little more of the mentorship programs that Wisconsin has. We have some incredible programs here in Wisconsin and groups. I just did an interview with Nevin's Hunting Friends, and it's was this 8-year-old special needs kid who kind of started a group that blossomed into this whole thing. But they're in Pennsylvania, and when I asked if they had mentorship programs or take a kid fishing type stuff, and they were like, not really. And I was like, man, because we have a ton. And I just think that's awesome. And I think what you're doing is great because I just don't have the energy for it. Like, I spent 20 minutes with my nephews, and I'm like, that's enough. So,
no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It is very taxing. It is very draining. But yet, at the end of the day, there's just a fulfillment within itself that you cannot replace. You know, I mean, you talk about the state of Wisconsin right now has the R3 program, and you know the outdoor heritage is involved in the outdoor mentor program and Pass It On and all of these different programs to introduce people to not only the hunting and fishing aspect, but the trap shooting and the trapping. And no matter what it is, if you are fully invested in learning, you're going to be able to find somebody that, and most of the time it's going to be 100% free to you to go and try it, go to find out. You know, you have the MPAA coming out of, you know, all the professional walleye trails and the NWTs and all that. You go and, you know, the day after the tournament, they have these kids programs that they give you fishing rods and lures and all. I mean, the opportunity is there. You just got to search for it. You got to find it. And once you find it, maybe that's all it's going to take to light the candle within that, you know, the glass jar of your eternal self to find out, man, I really do have a passion for this. I really do have a desire for this. And it's something special.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny because even on Sunday morning, I found myself again, you know, sometimes I feel bad because I don't go to church. That's not my church. My church is that oak tree in the middle of the field or the ripple. You know, that's where I belong. I'm uneasy. I'm uncomfortable. Not that I don't agree with those that go to church, but my church is the outdoors. That oak tree in the middle of that field that, you know, started from a seed and needed to be watered and nurtured and wind blown and everything else, and the changing of the colors. And there is no, you know, there's something about that is rejuvenating to me, and I need that in my life.
Yeah, I agree. So we're actually recording this the first couple of days of October, just for the timestamp for folks, because this isn't even going to air for like another 3 weeks, I think. So do you have any thoughts about the October lull? I don't hunt a lot in October because I genuinely don't see a lot, and I'd prefer to just fish and then go to Door County and stuff in October. But come November, I hit it hard. But do you believe in the October lull? What are your thoughts on that?
So October, you're patterning. You know, you're hunting a pattern. You're not hunting the rut. So are you talking? I'm assuming that you're talking deer hunting, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I should have specified.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's fine because, you know, here, once you start getting in early October, you know, in southern Wisconsin, northern Wisconsin, your waterfowl seasons start and everything else, and you can hit it hard for your local birds that were nesting and ponding and you know, your resident birds and all that other stuff before you educate them. So you have that window of about a week that you can really get after it. And then all of a sudden, you know, Wisconsin has a split season for the waterfowl season. So on a sunny day, it's not, you know, I run a lot of spy points. So I have 7 cameras running every single day, and I'm looking at them every single day. And, you know, matter of fact, this morning is when I finally started to see some bucks on hoof again. So it's one of them where early in September, it was a patterning thing where I could tell you between this time and this time, I have bucks that are starting to move, some smaller bucks. I have the hemp ropes that are hanging for them to go up and sniff and kind of start playing. On camera, I have them starting to make some rubs and some scrapes and stuff like that. They're just starting to mark their territory. Now all of a sudden you get into October, and you got your fishing that's really heating up. Your fall food bag is starting to go. some people are, right now, like you said, it's 80-some degrees in southern Wisconsin. I'm not going to go sit in a damn tree stand. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I got other things to do. I got all my patio stuff to be put away. I got my duck decoys to be, once we start getting into late October and your fall migration, as far as that north wind, I start watching that weather pattern. And when I see a strong west or northwest wind or even northwest, I'm going to start getting ready, and I'm going to be in that marsh 2 days before that wind is to hit, because those birds are always going to be in front of the wind. If that wind is already here, you're already too late for that. Same thing with deer. Deer are going to start moving 2 or 3 days before that front really starts, which makes sense because last night I finally started seeing some good bucks on camera again, and I credit a lot to that Spy Point where it comes right to my phone. I wake up in the morning, and first thing I do is I grab my phone, start seeing what's moving. Well, lo and behold, it's 85 degrees, but they're talking down into the 50s the next 2 days. Coincidence? No, it's a pattern. It's the same thing as every other time. It's kind of like watching deer. Right now, until that rut starts, you're not going to go out and sit in a tree stand at noon because it's totally pointless. Once that switch hits and those deer start rutting and they start running, and you never know what time of the day that buck that's horny and he's running around, he's bumping them does, and them does are now running around, which makes the bucks run around. That time from 9 to noon makes sense. Right now, all you're going to do is out there is catch a sunshine, maybe a burn on your face, and that's it. Yep. Go squirrel hunting. You go figure out something to do at this time of year. It's just there's things that you. Oh yeah, Your bluegills are starting to stage. Between that 8 to 12 foot water. Your perch are running on the river systems. Your walleyes are starting to put the feed bag on the wing dams and below the dams. Your pike are starting to really feed pretty good. Exactly it. Right now is the time to go fishing. Right now is the time to get all your chores done. So when hunting season does come around, you're ready to rock and roll. Go sight your bow in. Go, make sure that you spend the time to be prepared. So when it is that time that you make that ethical shot, make sure that not only is your time well spent, but you're not putting a bad shot, because bad shots do happen no matter what. It may, ricochet off a branch that you don't see, whatever the case may be. But make sure that you spend the time to give that animal all the respect in the world. And to be able to give that animal all the respect in the world is to make sure that you're prepared. You study for a test all the way through in grade school and high school, and you study for work seminars and everything else for that time that it's to succeed. You're prepared. Make sure that you do that with an animal, that you're not going out there, make an unethical shot because you are ill prepared.
100%. Couldn't agree more. I don't know. So many people are like, oh, what do you mean you don't sit out in October? It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I'm like, nope. November 1st is really when I get real serious. And then I hunt the rut. And then it's rifle season. And then December is just kind of, the holiday hunts and the doe only weekends and stuff. And it's really just November and December. I always like to go bow hunting in September. But, the Aglow conference kind of screws that up every year. So...
and here's the thing about September is going back to the cameras. If you religiously pattern your deer, one of the most thrilling hunts I've ever had was taking my turkey pack and my ghillie suit and sitting in the middle of a bean field, sweating my bejesus off because it was freaking 80 degrees in September, bow hunting late September, and it was amazing hunt because I knew exactly what those deer were going to do.
Yeah, totally. They're way more alert, but so they're still in those summer patterns.
But then again, I was done for the rest of the fall, so I sat there all fall going, now what do I do?
Yeah, I suppose I don't know. I always look forward to opening weekend, but the last couple of years, I don't know. I guess it's not that big of a deal, but it's not like opening weekend of rifle season, but you know.
Yeah. Well, big difference there. Opening weekend of rifle season, I mean, that's just something instilled in your blood from the get-go, I think. I mean, that there is, I mean, I stopped going up to the cabin here probably about 20 years ago because of the lack of deer. About 5 years ago, I started taking my kids back up there because there's just something. The biggest thing that I miss about this online registration, about this I don't care who you are, what you are, whatever it is, somebody that has a bar, or a restaurant or something out there. I don't know how the hell you're going to do it, but please bring back tradition.
Yes.
Bring back the going out and looking at the bucks and having the kids excited and playing pool while dad or mom or uncle, grandpa has a beer at the bar. Have your buck pools. Damn it, bring back the registration of the tradition of everybody sitting around telling their stories. You took that away from us. And you took it away from us, and now everybody is afraid to go back to it. And I don't know why. I don't give a shit. I might just do it out of my garage. Piss on it. We'll do a fake registration out of my garage and say,
right?
Come on.
Come have some beers. Sit around the fire.
We are going to be open for business for every story to be told about that one that outsmarted you. And, it was the biggest damn deer I've ever seen in my life, and I screwed it up.
It has a lot to do with why we are, they talk about hunter retention and stuff like that. Well, they've completely eliminated the socialization of the hunt and of opening weekend because some of my favorite memories are from when I was a kid. I'm sure everyone listening to this who's ever been to a Wisconsin rifle or even Michigan or wherever opening weekend where you had to take it to a bar or to a gas station to check it in has memories from when they were kids. And that was a big part of, well, of course we're going deer hunting. Why wouldn't we? Not, I'll leave the kids home because they can play video games while I go deer hunt because I don't, it's so much easier. I'll just run out for a couple hours, and if I get one, I'll run back home and register it online. There's so much of the tradition that's missing. And when they come and they start talking about hunter retention, that is one of the number one ways to get people excited and get kids excited and, man, I can't wait till I can go hunting because look at that buck and blah, blah, blah. It's just
I don't know how we do it, and I don't know how I'm going to piss anybody and everybody off by this statement, but boycott Quick Trip 1 weekend of the year. And have your ass stop at the local bar when you're going to go to deer camp and get that burger and that beer and sign up for the buck pool.
I know.
Stop grabbing your damn burger as you're driving through because you're in such a damn hurry.
I know.
Stop.
I get it.
It's
frustrating.
I don't know how to change it. I don't know how to bring that tradition back. There's some people who are like, oh yeah, we're open for deer season. Where's your buck pool? Where's your buck pole?
Yep. Right.
Stop coddling everybody in this world and being afraid of showing your damn prized possession of the buck that you harvested. Stop. Open your tailgates and let people see it again.
I know. I get it. 100% with you. And I feel like probably 80% of the people in the state are probably with you, but it's that small, unfortunate couple percent that's screwing it up for the rest of us.
I know.
But that's a rant. That's a sit around and have beers and rant for an hour about.
yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know. I want to get back, and that's where, like, last year was the first year. Matter of fact, the second weekend of deer camp, I started the second weekend of deer camp. And anybody that's listening to this, I don't know if anybody so Jason Schwartz, who used to run the Pelican Lake Ice Fishing Tournament up in Anago, Wisconsin, he started coming down to the second weekend of deer camp. And, then Robert Woods comes up from Holly Springs, Mississippi, who owns thousands of acres down there. He comes up to Wisconsin for the second weekend of deer camp. Glenn Wheeler, he's a sheriff in Newton County, Arkansas. Met him through CEOPA. He is now coming to the second weekend of deer camp. And, I mean, Jeff Davis from Whitetails Unlimited. I mean, we started a second weekend of deer camp, and it is a cabin at Black Hawk Lake. And we do nothing but hunt public ground and go fishing in the afternoon. And who gives a shit? We're second weekend of deer camp.
Hey, how do I get an invite? That sounds amazing.
And all the boys are here. What?
I said, how do I get an invite? That sounds amazing.
Hey, there's extra cabins this year. We will start another cabin of the second weekend of deer camp.
Let's do it.
Hey, I'm telling you what, there's cabins to be rented, and it's everybody brings a dish to pass, and I'll tell you, I don't give a shit who you are, but Robert Woods and that home cooked frickin' pecan pie that he brings up from Mississippi, holy shitballs.
That sounds awesome.
He had to start bringing another one up just for the family Thanksgiving because my in-laws stole the damn pie the first year.
That's hysterical.
Oh, man.
Oh,
now I gotta start teach me how to make some of them damn hush puppies they got going down there. Right. They just make them different. I don't know what they got going on.
Oh my God, hilarious.
They're still not that good if Joe Raybach asks. It's not good.
Okay, I will tell.
Don't you ever tell her that I like the hush puppy.
I promise your secret is safe with me and all of the listeners that listen to this show.
Don't tell her.
All right.
I had a good hush puppy.
Too funny.
None of that shit that she had me try, though.
Funny. All right. Well, we are bumping up against time here. So why don't you tell the listeners?
People clear their schedules.
Oh, my God.
We got more time.
Oh, my God.
They'll continue to listen. All right, fine.
No, because I'm going to have you on in just a couple of months, and then people will get the second dose of Pat Kalmerton, and they will be looking forward to it, breathlessly waiting for that next episode.
Yeah, they're looking forward to what direction is he going this time, because we had no idea.
I know, this was just kind of a catch-up, kind of a just, I don't know, let's kick it off. We're going to have Pat on like once a quarter at least, and I promise you we'll be a little more focused, but this is just fun to chat about random stuff. So why don't you tell...
Unless we see a squirrel as I'm driving, then you got this.
And then you'll be like, yeah, we were supposed to talk salmon. Oh, yeah, well, let's talk about squirrel hunting instead.
Yeah, we'll talk about something. You never know.
Hilarious.
I got a new... Mine Lab sending a new metal detector. Maybe we'll talk about all my treasure.
Did you win that? Did you win that at a glow? Did you win it?
No, I did not win that one. I bought a damn fishing rod like I needed that, and then I bought a 22 like I needed that, and then my wife. Do not tell my wife. Don't do it.
Okay.
She was just yelling at me yesterday. Matter of fact, she's like, "Open up your card and let me see what the hell you're spending your money on." It wasn't. To my defense, it was not my fault. And Brandy, they were that little demon in my ear that was yelling at me saying, "You can do it. Buy something. It'll be fun, don't you know?" It wasn't very fun though. I just called this morning finding out where my invoice was for the dang thing, and apparently they sent it to me.
Oh my God.
Whoops. I got that paid up. A little late, but we got her.
Hilarious. Brett just posted on the Association of Great Lakes Outdoor Writers Facebook page 30 minutes ago. Thanks to everyone who donated or bid on items for the record auction event at this year's conference. I have quite a few people from Aglow coming on in the next few weeks, but man, if you are an outdoor communicator, videographer, photographer, blogger, podcast, video, just freaking social media influencer that does outdoor stuff, if you aren't a member of Association of Great Lakes Outdoor Writers, you are missing out for real.
Yeah, it's not any fun. So actually, if you're a bump on a log, don't do it because we don't, if you don't have a passion for talking the outdoors, or if you don't have a passion about communicating the outdoors, or if you're kind of like, don't like to talk to people or don't like to have a beer at night or don't like to eat good food or eat good destinations or anything, seriously, don't sign up. But we have. Did you see my duck that I found? Oh, God,
no,
so
did you
amazing.
post it online? Wait.
Well, yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, I found it at the treasure hunt place while I was exploring Bemidji.
Huh.
It was
No,
amazing.
Oh,
it was amazing. Yeah. Go to the photo dump, maybe 2. Photo dump 2, maybe.
Okay.
Go to Pat Kalmerton page or Pat Kalmerton Outdoor page. Okay. Or I shared it to the Aglow page, too.
Oh, I'll have to check it out. I'm so far behind, it's not even funny.
I can't believe you didn't see that. That's my, actually, I think you're on there, too, from our fishing adventures.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Great. It was so hot that day. I probably looked like a sweaty mess.
Oh, my God. I think I passed out in the front of the boat from heat exhaustion.
I have the video of you falling
so
in the
bad.
front of the boat and almost drowning.
Yeah, well, you'll have that. That's right. Your front of your boat didn't have the center in there. When you get in a bunch of to my defense, I did more of a fucking roll than a fall.
You were like an elegant ballet dancer.
Yeah, or something like that. Kung Fu Panda and I did a spider monkey, elegant ballet dancer, and Kung Fu Panda all wrapped into one.
Pretty much. Oh my God. All right. Well, tell listeners where they can find more about you. Facebook, websites.
Oh boy.
I know.
Probably the easiest way is just Google Pat Kalmerton or go to the Pat Kalmerton Facebook or Pat Kalmerton Outdoors Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or just Google Pat Kalmerton. That might pop up. I don't know. I don't know. You could go Wolfpack Adventures. You can go to Take Them Kids Outdoors. You'll find me maybe on the corner of some street if, Mama throws me out. You'll find me somewhere. I'll be around somewhere.
Well, I will post these. I'll post
middle
these
of a field chasing a rabbit around.
If
I see a pheasant somewhere, maybe a squirrel.
This is the interview that'll never end.
I get lost sometimes. I thought you had to go.
I do have to go.
All right,
all joking aside, I will post all the stuff in the show notes of the episode, and I will post this up in just a couple of weeks, and I will tag you, and then the listeners will laugh as much as I do because you are always a fun interview, fun to talk to.
I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
I gotta go. I got things to do.
Okay. Talk to you later.
Yeah, love you long time. Bye.
Bye.